Welcome to Quitting Smoking update video. Today is 4 months, 27 days smoke free. That's 148 days in total I haven't smoked. Today is also February 18th and my husband's 40th birthday, so happy birthday, honey. I love you. Doing really well. I'm not smoking. Still using my e-cigarette if I can find the bugger. In my pocket. I've just noticed I've got dog hair on my phone. Right. My videos have gone from weekly to monthly, just purely because it's going to be the same update every month because I'm still not smoking and I don't intend on going back to smoking. Full stop. Ever. Famous last words, I know. I didn't intend on going back to smoking last time, but these things happen, you know. I made it over 100 days. I think it was 111 days total, and I've said this before, I don't remember the exact amount. And I was so determined I wouldn't go back, but I did. Circumstances. I was stressed. It was holiday season. Other contributing factors I think didn't help and that have been weighing on my mind a little bit lately because I've been tempted to get candles. Because I love candles. I was burning candles a lot, and now that I think about it, the more I burnt candles, the more I inhaled smoke, the more tempted I was to go back to smoking, and the harder it made it to resist smoking. And I've noticed that as well with just general fires around, like bonfires and just smelling smoke, not even necessarily cigarette smoke, but it is that smell of, oh, I don't want to breathe that in because that might tempt me. And I don't want to be tempted. Full stop. But yeah, the more I think about it, that was a contributing factor. Burning candles, because I was burning candles constantly. I like to make artwork with the wax as well, so it didn't help matters, inhaling smoke and all of that. So my advice would be, if you're trying to quit smoking, avoid candles, or bonfires, or fires of any kind, anywhere where there's smoke. Just don't do it. Okay, so I've had the month from hell. Literally. If there was ever a month to be tempted to go back to smoking, this would have been it. And in fact, I actually did say to my husband in the car on the way back once, never been more tempted in my life to go back to smoking. Because our Jack Russell, Cara, was diagnosed with pyometra, which is an infected uterus. And she had to have emergency surgery to save her life. Now, this could have been avoided if we'd gotten her spayed. We didn't. When she was younger, obviously. But she's spayed now. It's been hell. She's 7 years old. The recovery hasn't been pure and simple. It hasn't been easy. She had to have a third post-op check, which is very rare because the swelling around her incision site was very swollen. Turns out that's just thickened tissue on the inside of the wound and we didn't have to worry, but for a minute they thought that she might have reopened the internal wound, which would have meant operating again, and oh god. When they said that, I thought, of course she has, of course that's what it's going to be, because it's Cara. You know, she hasn't sat still since her surgery, since the day she had surgery. She hasn't sat still. That first day we brought her home, oh my god, she was out like a light. Like, she didn't move, she didn't wake up for anything, she was out. She had so much anaesthetic in her system. And her surgery took longer than it should have as well, because they had a small internal bleed. I don't know if they found it or caused it, but one way or another there was a small internal bleed, so they had to keep her in a few hours longer, put her on a couple of drips, give her heavy antibiotics. It was hell. Then we had complications where she wasn't taking the tablets they sent her home with, which are the antibiotics to clear up the rest of the infection in case it spread anywhere. So we had to take her back and she had to have an injection for that, which was painful for her. It was a syringe like this, about this wide, with really thick liquid in it, and she felt that going in. So that was hard to watch, but trying to make a Jack Russell sit still after surgery is just, no. It's impossible. It's just... We tried really hard. But like I said, she's doing okay now, thank God, and she doesn't have to go back for any more post-op checks. Thank God. But it could have been avoided. And I've been on a major guilt trip about that. And on the way home when she was diagnosed, knowing full well we had to take her back in 2 days' time for surgery, they wanted her in the next day, but we couldn't do the next day. But knowing full well we had to take her back 2 days later for surgery, I was so stressed out, and I was just like, I turned to my husband and said, if there was ever a time I've wanted a cigarette, it would be now. I've never been more tempted to go back to smoking than I am right now. And with good reason, you know what? Because that's my baby, and she was sick, and this one here, funnily enough. And she was sick, and I hated seeing that, and I hated knowing that she had to have this big surgery, and oh God, it was so stressful. But it's over now. The day she had surgery, something cheered me up to no end. I was exhausted, but something cheered me up to no end. I came home, went on Twitter, went trending. There was this interesting little article. About these things. I recorded a clip that day. So today is January 31st. I've had an incredibly hectic day. I got 0 sleep last night, full stop. Had to be out the door by 8:30 this morning because Cara had surgery because she had pyometra, which is an infected uterus. No one to blame but ourselves because we should have got a spade when she was younger. Thankfully she's okay now. Reasons for not doing it when she was younger was just circumstances. We couldn't afford it. Anyway, that's not why I'm making this video. She's home now, she's settled, she's doing well. So happy. But I come home, get her settled, make sure she's okay, she's asleep. Come upstairs, jump on Twitter really quick. And I go to trending and I see e-cigarettes. And they are just now realising that e-cigarettes are more effective at quitting smoking than patches or gum. No fucking shit, Sherlock. Really? I'm on day 130 smoke-free today. And the last week has been incredibly stressful. And if it wasn't for my e-cigarette, I would have quit. I would have gone back to smoking already. If it wasn't for this, my 10 Motives e-cigarette. And I've been saying it non-stop since I quit smoking. And I know a lot of other people have been saying it too. But research has only just found out that this is more effective at helping people quit smoking than patches or gum. Why did it take so long for you people to figure this out? Seriously. This has me seriously wound up right now. And slightly feeling vindicated because previously, the last time I quit smoking for a long time, I went just over 100 days. And again, I wouldn't have made it that far without my e-cigarette. Now, yes, I did go back to smoking. But that was just, again, circumstances at the time. But I had people commenting on my video. One person in particular, who I got into a back and forth argument with in the comments, started her comment off with, "E-cigarettes are still smoking." Oh no, they're not. I'm so happy right now, you have no idea. So anybody out there that still considers e-cigarettes or vapes or anything remotely like them as still smoking, stick your opinion where the sun don't fucking shine. Because it's been proven that they're more effective than patches or gum. Seriously. I'm so happy. Today's a good day. So yeah, there's my thoughts on that. Like I said in that previous clip, I would not be where I am now without this, and I certainly wouldn't have made it through the past month without this. It's been a lifesaver. If I wasn't using e-cigarettes this past month and I was just using gums or patches, well, I can't use patches because I'm allergic to the adhesive, but if I was just using gum or some other substitute, I would have definitely gone back to smoking by now, because oh my god, the stress would have gone to me. But this is just my lifesaver. God, my throat hurts. I think as well, when it comes to quitting smoking, I can be quite opinionated. Not like I'm taking a moral high ground or anything, but I've been out and I've seen people smoking that should not be smoking, like people smoking around their kids. Like, yeah, you're out in the fresh air, but don't smoke around your kids. I've seen pregnant women smoking. And I'm sorry, it's my personal opinion. And I've got it actually pinned to the top of my Twitter. It should be illegal to smoke whilst pregnant in the UK, and if you're caught doing so, or if you do so in general, you should be locked up and you should lose your kid, because if you're going to do that while pregnant, you don't fucking deserve to be a parent. And I know that's something that divides people's opinions, and that's very, you know, people's opinions on that differ quite badly. But this is coming from someone who has tried nearly 9 years. It'll be 9 years this summer to have a baby with my husband, and we are still getting nowhere, and we are still waiting for fertility testing. I've actually got an ultrasound coming up next month, actually, but for the actual referral to the hospital, we're still waiting. And it pisses me the fuck off that people are taking that for granted, that people are taking being parents or being for granted. I'm sorry, my voice is starting to go. Because why would you? Like, you say you love your kid, or you love your unborn baby. You don't. You clearly love your habit more. I'm sorry. That's clearly more important to you. And to me, that makes you a selfish, stupid fucking person for doing that. For letting them breathe that shit in, for putting an unborn child through that. But there is a large amount of evidence that links smoking whilst pregnant and smoking around infants to cot death. My baby brother died from cot death, and it put my mother through hell from 1990 onwards. She has never gotten over that, and we're talking 29 years later nearly. It's not worth the risk, and I'm sorry, but you're taking being a parent for fucking granted. And it makes you a fucking idiot. I'm sorry. Anyone, no, I'm not even sorry. I shouldn't have to be sorry for my opinions. These are my opinions, and like I said, I can't be opinionated with this shit. I don't give a fuck. In my eyes, it makes you an unfit parent if you smoke whilst pregnant or smoke around your kids. End of. There you have it. It just fucking kills me that there are people who deserve to be parents, people who want to be parents so badly and would do absolutely anything it fucking takes to have that happen, who can't. Meanwhile, there are people, I won't call them parents, people who get pregnant like that, who take it for granted, who don't realise how much of a blessing they have, to realise how lucky they are. That's it. I can't talk about this anymore. I'm just going to get pissed off even more. I'm going to wrap the video up here because I'm losing my voice and I can't keep ranting. I don't even know if I'm going to include that rant. So if you're seeing this and there's been no rant right before it, I apologise. But if you've made it this far and I did include the rant, thank you for sticking around. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe. This has been my second update of 2019, and I'll see you next month. Thanks for watching.